Hi guys, this is FFAN16 and welcome to a video of Final Fantasy XV Comrades after patch 1.02. This will just be my gameplay in the first mission. This is my character, Tabitha, and it did take me a little while to be able to get into a party, so I was about to give up on this. I was getting very frustrated, but this video here that I have for you is that video where I got into a party. So I want to thank so much the other player who will be in this video with me today. If you do stop by and watch my video, thanks for coming joining my party so I could experience Final Fantasy XV Comrades gameplay for the first time. I tried so much last week to be able to get into a camp and I just gave up, and then when I heard Square was going to do a patch, I just waited to today to be able to come in and replay the game. I do gotta say, it is definitely an online test. There's a lot of things that I wish was there that isn't there yet. A lot of the camera, as you're gonna see in this video, is very much underneath me, in me, over top of me, but not really at the angles that are best for viewing within a battle. And I do find, which is really weird, is my MP got drained so quickly in battle. And I'm just wondering if the MP mechanics is a little bit underdeveloped, considering how much MP is getting exhausted from every move. In the main game, I find that my MP does last a little bit longer than in this test, so you do have to manage the usage of your MP quite a bit. So this just takes me a minute. I try a couple things here to try to get into a party. I create my own camp. That doesn't go so well at the beginning here. Once the timer runs out, your camp then can be a retry, or you can disband it. I find that they don't give you much time for your camp to remain active, so I hope when the real game comes out or the full launch of this, that the camp lasts a little longer. So I'm going to do a quick play here. This will then now throw me into a party of one extra player and two AI players, which is great because I got pretty excited from this point here that I actually got into a camp to be able to experience this game. So I just jumped through the load screens and I'm just getting used to the different kind of menu. The one thing, again, I'm just not really too happy about is they don't give you any items. You don't even have like a stock few, like 5 potions, 3 elixirs, anything like that, 2 Phoenix Downs. All that would have been very helpful in this. Every time you come in, you'd have a set amount of items, and that's all the items you get to use. There's no items. You're heavily reliant on your abilities to heal and your ability to get away from the targeting enemies so that your MP bar can reload, because your MP is your life in this online test. I do not like being crippled that way. I prefer if I would have had some items to use, as I find that would have helped with some of the battles going a bit smoother than it is. So I'm just following this guy here because I haven't been on this map yet. I'm not familiar of what the battle mechanics are at this point, so I'm just going to follow him around. So it looks like we're fighting some Garudas. Hard to read because my print's really small on the screen that I'm looking at right now. These guys are relatively easy. I really like this map for someone who's just coming in this first fight. So I do believe the scale of hardness goes from the first quest down to this last quest, easy, medium, and hard. I did jump into the hard one earlier from this video, and I got abandoned because I just got my ass whooped, and I do apologize to that group that I was fighting with. That was my very first battle. So this goes a lot better. I'm a lot more happier with the experience I had with this second playthrough, but for me, it is actually my first full interaction play of the mechanics here. So getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more familiar. Again, just watch my MP. Just look how quickly it's exhausted. Look at a big chunk of that just got eaten up by one move. With Noctis, it's like little bits at a time. That's taking about half almost of my MP for every move. And when you do link to those spots to get out of the way, your MP gauge doesn't instantly fill like it does in Final Fantasy XV. It takes a very slow increments to be able to get it up again. This makes this very hard to play. You don't have enough MP to keep with your motions and your moves, your warp striking, your ability to use magic or cure. The curative move, so you do find yourself running away a little bit, and to me, Square could have just gave us some items, made the MP bar not dissipate so quickly, and it feel like it does in Final Fantasy XV when you go to those warp points. So besides that, the experience is getting there, the movement of the character is moving fine. I do find the clubs a bit useless. She takes forever to swing it, or she takes forever to know that I'm hitting the button to tell her to swing. So I tend to just use the katana, the shuriken, and the daggers. Those three are pretty good weapons. They move fast. I do see some glitching, but that's expected as this is an online test. You're gonna get characters floating, like you just saw that Garuda was up in the air a little bit. The camera angles, this camera angle right now is not too bad, but I found sometimes the camera angle did get a little annoying. I couldn't see, I was underneath my own ass staring the bad guy in the chest instead of seeing, like, I really like this over the top view. I'm a bit of a tank in most games, and when I tank I like to see my whole area, assess it, determine if I'm fighting the right bad guy, and then if I'm not I can move off to a different guy. So there is some tweaking that you need to do, but for what it is, as it is an online test, it's really not too bad. Once you're able to get into a party, it's a lot of fun. It's just getting into a party that can get frustrating. Like I said earlier, I was about to just give up and wait for the full version of this game to be released because this online test was frustrating for me to be able to get into a party. I really know how many people right now are on the server, so that might have something to do with it as well. So just completed our mission here. You do get your ranked card scores, and there's 2 missions per quest. In 10 seconds we will be taken back to the camp. He's just showing me to go pick up the meat, so I have something to take back to the camp. So always go pick up something from the map to take back to the camp, as you have a camp cook who will give you a meal depending on the items that you've gathered from the field. She'll cook you a meal that will give you a certain kind of buff for the next quest. Now, they do have it after the second quest. She gives you a meal and you get a whole bunch of items, but it's almost like then they cut it off and that's the end of the trial. So it's kind of expecting that the game's going to keep playing on, but they're like, nope, that's a good chunk, let's cut that off, and there, thank you for playing, come back in and start all over again. You save none of your progress, none of your leveling, which kind of sucks. I wish it was like a standalone kind of demo slash online test where you could accumulate your level, you could keep the items and goods that you were getting in missions and kind of make yourself a little bit stronger, especially for the third quest. So it's okay, it is what it is, and it is enjoyable once you do find people to play with, for sure. So this is the second part. This gets a little intense as the amount of enemies that come on the field, but it's pretty good. The bombs are crazy as always. Like I said, my MP, the biggest thing for me was the MP. How quickly I can use like almost half my MP in one warp strike. With Noctis, I'm so used to being able to spam my warp strike that handicapped me the first time I played. So I did not make a good impression with the first group, and again, I do apologize to them, but at least with this second retry, I kind of understood that my MP gauge sucked, and I had to micromanage it quite a bit. So that's one thing I hope Square, I don't know if I'm popular enough for Square Enix to be watching my videos. I'd squeal like a fangirl if I knew that somebody from Square Enix was watching my videos. But if you are, what I would do is fix that MP gauge, let it run like it does with Noctis. If you use a little bit more than what Noctis would normally use, fine, but not almost half the MP bar for one move. And if I'm gonna warp strike to a warp point, make it so that the MP bar fills up completely like it does in Final Fantasy XV. Please. Also, when I am focused on an enemy with my R1, I want to be able to not have the camera get stuck in a weird position. The angles that I get sometimes are very hard, like I said earlier. So just, some of the same complaints. This is a cool mechanic here. It took me a while to figure out how to do this, but I like that square. That was nice. That kind of I can't find the word, when people work together to be able to take down an enemy and making it into a special move. That is cool. So definitely like that about Comrades. These bombs are just bastards, but they're bombs, so they like to be pain in the ass. So if you hold your circle button down, you might see once in a while that I can put a shield around me that, like protect in the old Final Fantasy games. It's the block mechanic as well, and it does expend a lot of MP as well. So again, micromanaging my MP took most of my concentration in this online test. The timing of moves isn't bad. This is very much Corleones's fighting style with the katana. And of course they had to throw in an Iron Giant just to spice up the mood. Now see, the camera angle is really hard for me to concentrate here, so I had to take my lock off just so that I could be able to see. Also, I use the shuriken. The shuriken is a medium to long range attack weapon, and then brings my camera out of that spot where it got stuck. And this allows me then to move on to my other weapons now that I've got the camera at an angle that I like. I'm hoping in the real game we get the day clock and it shows us the transition of how much more night there is now than there was before, and what point of day we are in. I really like that day-night mechanic, and with this probably being Dark World, we can see that clock showing more and more nighttime. And since we do see demons out at this point in time, we could assume that we're at dusk or dark type situation within Comrades. Like, we won't be getting much sun, we're going to be infested by more and more demons. Demons are going to start taking over different cities and towns and driving us to Elysium or Hammerhead to be able to do the final stand before Prince Noctis comes to claim his crown. So this is super exciting. This can be done so good and so right, and it's just going to be a ton of fun. So I'm not going to take this online test too much to heart about what this game's going to be, because I know it's just going to get better from here, guys. This is just a test. Square Enix wants to know how much pressure we can put on those servers and some feedback from the fans. So my feedback's very minimal, but I do wish they would have gave us some items. Come on, who agrees with me? We needed at least a handful of items in a pouch instead of all those sayings and greetings and joking around. Like, give us one thing that is our inventory. Give us some items, because our MP bar sucks right now, and it's just sustaining is really hard. So he's coming down, which is good. He somehow jumped from being inside the fence to being outside the fence, if you guys would have noticed that. So there's a bit of a glitch with his movements. But at least he's not butchering us too badly. I think we're taking him down pretty well. It is a very enjoyable gameplay, and like I said, super excited for the possibility of the future of Comrades. snippet left. Again, I'm out of MP. I know that's been this whole video, me complaining about the camera and MP, but that's not bad if that's the only thing I really have to complain about. My character's not freezing, she's not phasing in and out, she's not glitching in any way of not responding to my commands. So all in all, the character movement and actions are good. Square, you don't have to do much there. You pretty much got that on par. Just work on just tweaking it a little bit, and yeah, you got a great game. I'm looking forward to being able to play this in full. You're going to notice here how they cut it off. We're going to go back to camp. We're going to get our juicy meal. And I think Ignis must have trained some of the staff of the Kingsglaive to be able to cook for the end of the world and be like, all our men need some good meals. Here's a crash course on cooking. And then they got issued to each camp with Ignis's special recipe book. So I can't wait to start putting these items into play, customizing my character more, making her stronger, leveling her up. It's going to be great, guys. And I look forward to playing with each and every one of you who is playing Comrades. Come in, let's go kick some butt. Let's go beat the Dark World and bring back Noctis. Or at least celebrate that he's back when he comes back. So this is going to be coming to the end of the video. Thanks guys so much for coming to this update / quick play of Final Fantasy XV Comrades. If any new updates come to this prior to the full release, or if we get I have to look, I'm not too sure if we got a full release date yet, but if we do, I'll definitely do a video on that. So I'm going to leave you here, guys. If you liked the video, please put a like below. Please subscribe for any upcoming videos. And as always, guys, happy gaming.